Module 4. Outgoing calls. In this module, you will identify the steps to take when unable to answer a caller's concern. You will learn the protocol in transferring telephone calls, taking accurate telephone messages, and the prompt delivery of telephone messages. In order to do this effectively, you should know how the office functions and know what each employee is responsible for. Learning and knowing this information will help you identify the appropriate personnel to help you with the student's concern. Transferring calls. As you might have already experienced, there are situations where you are required to transfer a call, either because you're unable to answer a caller's concern or the caller just demands an immediate answer that you cannot provide to them. However, before you start transferring any call, make sure you follow the right protocol. Before you transfer the call, make sure you explain the situation to the caller. Let the caller know why it is necessary for you to transfer the call. Also, provide the caller the name and telephone number of the person you're transferring the call to. Upon transferring the call, don't just hang up. Wait for the third party to answer and provide them the necessary information they may need. Information such as the student's ID and a brief explanation of their concern. Doing this will provide a better service to the students that call our office. Now, you will come across some situations where you will not be able to transfer calls, either because callers prefer to leave a message or because personnel is just not available to take any calls. In the event that personnel is not available to take any calls, explain the situation to the student, but do it in a professional manner. Be careful of what you say. For example, don't say, "Mrs. Leal is tied up right now." Instead, say, "Mrs. Leal is in a meeting. Would you like to leave a message?" This message can be improved by saying this: "Mrs. Leal is in a meeting. Would you like to leave a message, or is there something I can help you with?" As you can see, this is a more proactive way to respond. Let's review additional phrases you should not say. You should not say, "Mrs. Leal is out to lunch." Instead, this can be improved by saying, "Mrs. Leal will be in the office after 1 p.m. May I give her a message, or is there something I can help you with?" Also, you should not say, "Mrs. Leal is on vacation." Instead, you should say, "Mrs. Leal will be out all day, but is expected tomorrow. Would you like to leave a message, or is there something I can help you with?" As you would notice, callers do not need to know where Mrs. Leal is, and you should be proactive in trying to assist the callers that reach the office. When taking a message, you should always provide the following information: the caller's name, the caller's ID number if a student, the caller's organization if a professional, caller's callback number, and the best time to call. Along with this, you should provide a brief explanation of the caller's concern, the date and time of the call, along with your name or initials. Providing this information in the message will allow the person returning the call provide better customer service to the caller. Now, it is important to take complete and accurate messages. This helps personnel research the issue and return calls promptly. In addition, it will avoid having the student to repeat information that was already provided to you. There are other things you should also consider when taking a message. You should write it down immediately. You would hate to forget information that is important to provide a response. Also, you should write legibly and use correct spelling and grammar. To help you take an accurate message, you should repeat the information back to the caller. And if time permits, you should provide any necessary forms or documentation along with the message. After taking a message, you must deliver it. And the most common way to deliver a message is to use a message pad. However, I find it more efficient to deliver a message via email. And if you decide to use email, make sure you keep it professional. And make sure you provide the same information you would as if using a message pad. Regardless of the method you choose, make sure you deliver your messages promptly. Try to do so immediately after hanging up with the caller. If this is not possible, then follow a schedule. Maybe you can do it before you go off on break or before you leave for the day. Regardless, you need to deliver your messages within the same working day. Don't forget to follow all these protocols that we have covered. It is important when transferring calls to explain the situation to the caller, and when taking messages that you do this accurately for a better response. And not to forget that your delivery of messages must be prompt. This will result in better customer service.